The Star Citizen CitizenCon 2019 schedule has been released, which gives us a load of insight on what's happening at the event on the 23rd of November and all the presentations and panels that are happening throughout the day. In this video, we're going to go over the schedule and what we expect to see in each part in a bit more detail, and also what I think is worth watching. The event is split over 2 stages that will have panels and presentations on throughout the day. People watching from live stream can choose which stage they are on, apparently, or which stage they're watching. There is the Anvil main stage and the Crowshaw secondary stage. Most of the stuff that interests me is on the main stage, but it is not exclusively on the main stage. There's a couple of things that are on the second stage that are awesome. I'll put a link to the schedule down below so that you can see the times of each individual item as well, but it starts at 1 PM UTC and finishes at 9:30 PM UTC, which will be local time in the UK, and the event is being held in Manchester in the UK this year. Last year we had the main presentation first. This year we have it last. We are expecting a heavy focus to exploration this year when it comes to Persistent Universe gameplay. The flair items include a telescope. The CitizenCon blurb talks about discovery and exploration from Nick Crowshaw, who in lore discovered the first jump point, so it makes sense that it's exploration and discovery based. So, on the Anvil main stage, we have from 1 PM, the adventure begins with Chris Roberts. This should be a 30-minute opener to CitizenCon, announcing some new ships and vehicles, some of which might be immediately flyable and available. If they are, then they're likely to show them off in game quick. There could be some other reveals, a Squadron 42 reveal, a quick bit of gameplay, setting the tone for the rest of the event. So this is going to be the opener, some reveals, bam, oh my god, that was cool, and then they're going to move on to the next presentation that starts at 1:30 PM, and it's called Terra Firma, exploring the continuing evolution of planetary tech. So the name implies that Terra might be looked at here, which is a planet and star system, a major part of Star Citizen in the future. So Terra is basically the power in the stars. It's sort of like you've got Sol system, Earth, but you've also got Terra. So I'd expect to see some work on biomes, them show off the new planetary tech, so show off some cool city tech, potentially show off Terra Prime, the capital on Terra, stuff like that, big city generation. It sounds to me as well that Terra could be like Cheetah in EVE, sort of like the most common player hub in game eventually, but saying that, CIG may want to break up groups of players to more manageable sizes, and maybe they won't want to centralize power or trade hubs any one place in the verse and have people moving around. We'll have to wait and see. 2:30 PM, we have the Micro Technicalities presentation. Get a detailed look at Stanton's newest planet, Microtech and beyond. Microtech brings new Babbage, the landing zone there as well. The planet is a mix of ice, snow, sea, Nordic forests and chilly plains, whereas New Barrage is like a set of biodome and greenhouses all splodged together by like scientists. They expect to see new biomes and assets that have gone into making that planet, and that planet should be available in Alpha 3.8, so maybe some gameplay associated with that and them walking around. 3:30 PM, Lawmaker's Guide to 2949, delve into the narrative foundation of recent and upcoming releases. That interests me a bit less than what's happening on the second stage at the same time with the Locked Up presentation, which we'll go into in a minute. If you're into the lore in the game, you might see some more of the lore system, the game world, insight into new missions and stuff like that to Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy stuff. 4:30 PM, we have Shoot 'em Up. Preview a new high-octane game mode coming to Star Citizen. It's hosted by Sean Tracy, the Star Citizen technical director, and it could be a range of things. It has me a little stumped. So people have suggested that it's Shatterball returning, a game mode that we were supposed to have that's like Ender's Game a while ago. People have suggested Battle Royale or ship capture scenarios, objective-based modes, multi-crew arena commander, or some form of combined armed Star Marine with ships and vehicles. Even Titan suit combat has been suggested. It's called Shoot 'em Up. It's referring to whatever's being shown there as a new gamer mode, so I would expect it's for Arena Commander or for Star Marine or for both. Very much looking forward to finding out exactly what that is. Hopefully it's nothing that's sort of like, you know, sidestepping from the what we should be focusing on for the persistent universe, in my opinion. I do want Star Citizen to actually be a game rather than them keep on adding new game modes which are not really directly related to the persistent universe. I mean, I do want cool Star Marine and Arena Commander things, and game modes and stuff like that, admittedly, but we'll have to see exactly what's going on with that. There is something special for event attendees at 5:30 PM, though the details aren't here yet. Live stream viewers are going to be forced to watch the second stage, it looks like. This could be a Squadron 42 thing, or a new ship, or something that's going to be more obviously revealed at the main presentation at the end of the day, but it could also be players at the event being able to play the new shoot-'em-up high-octane game mode coming to Star Citizen. It might be sort of like, try this out, play something from 3.8, or some sort of gameplay where the audience and attendees can get involved. 6:30 PM is Cos and Effect, strut your stuff in our first annual cosplay contest. I suspect there's going to be some cool prizes there. Again, I'll likely be on the second stage, actually watching Ship Talk, which is on it there, but I suspect there's going to be a mix of cosplay at the event, some very low effort, chill, or some quite roleplay based on your organisation, but typically there's some really cool people that have made fantastic looking armor or whatever. You're not allowed to bring any props that could look like weapons, so bear that in mind, or at least firearms, I believe. Bear that in mind when coming to the event and doing cosplay there. Just double check to make sure that your costume fully fits in with what CIG allow at that particular event, because different venues are going to have different policies. 7 PM, Hex Appeal. Feel the power of the back-end tool that allows us to edit your universe. This presentation is hosted by Tony Zerovic. Tony gives out the most juicy, high-level gameplay and persistent universe information when it comes to the economy, NPCs, simulation, stuff that's going to be incredibly important in the game, and it being an MMO. Hex Appeal could be referring to Grimhex, but more likely to Hex Code, talking about the code and the back end of the game. I would expect more explanations of dynamic mission systems, economy, and all that jazz. It is going to be one not to miss if you want to know where Star Citizen is going and how all the sort of like simulation and economy elements are all going to splodge together. At 8 PM, the most important presentation is on from Chris Roberts. The Adventure Continues, a closing keynote presentation you won't want to miss. This looks like it's going to finish at 9:30 PM according to the schedule. Expect delays though. I mean, Star Citizen isn't a CitizenCon or, you know, a Star Citizen livestream without some form of delays somewhere and things going wrong. I'm sort of looking forward to that. Almost. I know that's monstrous to say, but you know, there's something cringeworthy. But that main presentation, that is likely going to be the new big gameplay, the new wow factor, something that is the sort of like focus of the whole CitizenCon that people will be talking about. If you're only going to watch one thing, watch that, The Adventure Continues closing keynote. There's been talks that we might see Squadron 42 gameplay, Squadron 42 release dates, something from 3.8, 3.9 near future gameplay, talks of the Carrack, the Pisces, new planets, Microtech, obviously they're showing Microtech earlier in the day, Crusaders Horizon landing zone, jump points, new star systems with Pyro and Nyx, a new vertical slice for Squadron 42 was also potentially on the cards, I heard. We are expecting an in-game event at ArtCorp and a new location for the Anniversary Expo there. Some of this, if accurate, might be shown off in the opening keynote though, so bear that in mind. If you can only watch one of the presentations though, The Adventure Continues is the one I would watch. I'd also expect them to talk about the persistent universe sort of like roadmap, or at least pillars to probably this time permanent progression, sort of potentially just after dynamic server meshing, signaling a time that Star Citizen will be more mainstream and actually move on from Alpha UEC to UEC. So permanent progression is what I would expect to see, a roadmap to that this year. On the second stage though, we've got the Crowshaw Auditorium. From 1:30 PM, there's Xenolinguistics and You, probe the process of how alien languages are created. Expect to see some cool stuff for the Tavaran, Xi'an, Vandal, and Banu, and how their languages are formed. Gritton Watkins is there for sci-fi language fans, and he's helping build all those languages. From 2:30 PM onwards, Ship Sounds, a look at the technical tricks and creative process that make ships sound super cool. 3:30 PM, Locked Up. Now, this is one of the ones I want to watch on the second stage, very much so. Get some early insight into prisons in the verse and the life inside. So, Luke Presley is hosting this one, and he's the lead Star Citizen live designer, so it's the gameplay you directly have in the live persistent universe build that he's sort of responsible for, or sort of like semi in charge of at least. Prisons are going to be combined with cave tech in some way. I actually suspect we'll see asteroid prisons personally, at least at some stage. This one I will certainly be going to watch though. A new prison gameplay that's coming soon sounds cool. I believe it's missions associated with Prison Locations 2 which might be shown, so this could be riots, resupply, bounty hunters, dropping people off, escapees, and lots more. Not just punishment for criminal players. I'd expect to see other gameplay around that, and things for criminal players to do inside. 4:30 PM on that second stage, me, myself, and UI follow the entire process of turning a written design into a playable feature. We know CIG have been rebuilding and updating their HUDs and UIs and cockpit experience, so I would also expect to see some insight there too, maybe a little bit of how they build missions. 5:30 PM, armor archetypes, everything you've ever wanted to know about staying protected in the verse. This I expect to look at some new armors, environmental protection maybe, and maybe talk about physicalized damage to some extent, not just for player armors, but for ship, potentially. We could also see them make some armor flair for CitizenCon. The goodies pack does contain a in-game full set of armor, so maybe that will be made there. 6:30 PM, ship talk. Again, this is one that I want to watch on the second stage, learn about new ships of CitizenCon, and help the team design a future vessel. This is an interesting one, so I always want to know about new ships and ship design and what they're planning for the future. I suspect the audience there will be able to influence, at least to some extent, the direction and name of the ship that they will be building. I will be watching ship talk until Hex Appeal starts on the main stage, sort of like they overlap a bit there. There is going to be lots more going on during the day for attendees. There are community booths from organisations and companies like the Daymar Rally, and events, obviously like the Daymar Rally, Game Glass, My Radar, JR Fabrication. Expect to see some very cool props from JR Fabrication. They've made like large ships in the past and vehicles, models of them, or like a big dragonfly they made, and the Saber Raven. They've done some cool stuff, so I'm looking forward to being there. There's going to be some like other CIG booths. Last year they had actors walking around and chatting to you about in-law stuff. I talked about some CitizenCon leaks yesterday. There was a picture of a planet that I said might be faked, but I thought it was a representation of Pyro 3. It turns out that it was faked. It was a planet from Star Wars. I can't see things. I don't know what Photoshops is. I'm occasionally dumb, so bear that in mind. But the rest of the info in that video is quite a good compilation of CitizenCon leaks if you're interested. But what do you think? Are you going to CitizenCon? If so, I look forward to seeing you there. I'll be going to the Bar Citizen the day before as well, the official one, but I'll be planning, potentially in the same venue, a Bar Citizen or like a meetup throughout the day there from like midday onwards until 6 PM as well. So if people want to meet up the day before and have somewhere to rally and drink and eat and that sort of stuff, I'll arrange something for that. And that's an open offer to pretty much anyone that wants to turn up. Doesn't have to just be people that are going to CitizenCon. It can be, you know, a general chill Bar Citizen. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to be signing off the video. What else do you expect to see in the main presentation? Are you excited for CitizenCon in general? I am. It's probably going to be the best event of the year. I love CitizenCon. It was an interesting choice to combine the Anniversary Expo and CitizenCon together. So we are most certainly going to have like 2 weeks of ship sales afterwards. Probably a free flight, things like that as well. Yeah, cool. It's going to be good. Well, hopefully it is anyway. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Bam, I'll read them. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's an Anvil Carrack Explorer ship that should hopefully be flyable in Alpha 3.8 at the end of the year. Just comment on any of my videos made during October to be in for a chance to win that. I am also shilling for NordVPN and Shadow gaming PCs, so use the code BoredGamer for discounts there. NordVPN. In a world of censorship and privacy issues, VPNs allow you to browse the net and play games in more safety. NordVPN has many benefits over free VPNs, and that's why I shill for it. Some of you also might be interested in ShadowCloud gaming stuff. This allows you an alternative to sort of like buying and maintaining your own gaming PC. You can stream a custom Windows 10 environment to devices like your phone, a laptop, or a crappier, lesser PC, and bam, it's fantastically powerful, and it's maintained, and hardware is regularly updated for you. It's a fantastic service, Shadow. Cloud gaming certainly has quite a big future ahead of it. If you'd like to further support my channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, ringing the YouTube bell so you get notifications when a video goes live. This is a channel that is funded by the community via donations, Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone else that wants to get involved with comments and helping. Thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile. Take care, and I will see you in the verse.